old, and yet the Bible's saying things are created only thousands of years ago. And just looking at the biblical text, the creation was a special event with no prior history. And yet all living things were created on days 3 for the plants, days 5 for the water animals and birds, day 6 for the land animals and mankind, according to the Bible. And all this without ever having grown from seeds or spores or being born from eggs or live births. Adam was never a baby. He had oxygen in his blood from his creation before he took his first breath. And in all things there was the appearance of age, a history that never existed. God certainly has the power to do so, and he's not lying. He's not deceiving us. He told us what he did. Similarly, on day 4, the sun, moon, planets, and stars could all have been created with the appearance of age, of a history that never happened. And the light eventually reaching the earth has been consistent with all the natural laws that God created, so no discontinuities are observed. And so sometimes I refer in my chapter there to the supernovae 1987A in the Large Magellanic Cloud, which is apparently like 170,000 light years away, and supposedly the explosion would be 170,000 years ago. But with this idea, the appearance of age, that means that God has already orchestrated everything such that what we see is sort of consistent with all of the laws we have discovered, and yet that is prior to, it has the appearance of happening, and yet maybe it never did in reality. We do the same thing in our entertainment industry, that the curtain rises, the movie starts, all having the appearance of a prior history. And God can do it even better than we can. And so he's not deceiving us, because he told us in the Bible what he did miraculously and not by natural laws. There's a lot of people, creationists, who don't like this idea of appearance of age, and they're hung up on the idea of why did God create an appearance of age? So anyway, there's scientists who are creationists go both ways. They look for the natural causes, and others say, oh, it's all happened supernaturally, and there was no prior history before 6,000 or so years ago. Okay, switching to the solar system that's close to us, we can supposedly understand that better. The idea of the solar system, the popular theory is a nebular origin. Nebular theory for the solar system says that the sun and planets were all formed by the condensation of a nebula as matter fell onto protoplanets and into the sun. It says that the star was surrounded by a disk of cooler matter similar to the much larger galactic clusters. And here I do use a galaxy that has a shape sort of like what might be envisioned for a solar system. Okay, does it work though? The solar system the sun has 99% of the mass of the solar system, but only 2% of the angular momentum. That Jupiter and Saturn and the outer planets have tremendous angular momentum with respect to the sun. The sun only rotates like 27 days, roughly. And very small and compact, and so has very little angular momentum. Also, once the solar fusion ignites, then the solar wind would blow all dust out of the solar system, bringing planetary formation to a halt. In other words, the solar wind's like a vacuum cleaner, gets rid of all the dust, and with no dust, you can't condense anything. So that's a problem with the nebular theory. You got to create the planets before the sun starts burning nuclear fusion. Okay, solar theory indicates a cooler sun in the past, and at a time when life was supposed to start on Earth. But a cooler sun means colder Earth. The Earth would be a frozen ice ball, and that doesn't promote life at all. And so we got a problem there too. Venus, well, the whole solar system is rotating in a certain direction, and then Earth rotates on its axis as the same direction as the planets are revolving around the sun. But Venus revolves around the sun in the usual manner, but it rotates in the opposite direction. And from a nebular condensation, everything should be rotating approximately the same direction. Well, that doesn't work for Venus. Now for Mercury, it's close enough to the sun, so its rotation got locked in due to gravity. Another problem with the nebular hypothesis is that short period comets, in other words, those that are completely within the solar system, have lifespans of only thousands of years. And so if millions of years have gone by, there shouldn't be any left, because these slowly deteriorate. Whoop, went too fast. Okay, Uranus and Neptune are some strange bodies out there. I've illustrated them with these little diagrams. Uranus rotates on its side. In other words, our North Pole is up here, but Uranus's North Pole is tilted to the south with respect to ours. That doesn't fit nebular hypothesis at all. And Neptune has a greatly tilted axis as well. Not as extreme. We're 23 degrees, and Neptune is 30 degrees, so yeah, we can allow that sort of. But it causes some strains on nebular hypothesis. The magnetic fields of both of them are offset and greatly tilted, and so they are not coming from a rotating core like is envisioned for the Earth. For Uranus, the offset from the center of the planet is like that, and the direction is oriented this way. So rotation of the core is not doing it. For Neptune, the offset is even greater, and we again have a direction of the magnetic field that is very different from the direction of the rotation. So that all this is saying there's something else going on out there, and nebular